Alrighty, Ted here, BigGoofyRunner. Hopefully I'm in a good shot here. Alright, so today is January 31st, 2021. So today's the last day of my daily vlogs for January of 2021. Now I had thought I was going to, because the first video I did was January 2nd, but covering January 1st, so like the next day covering the previous 24 to 36 hours kind of deal. With that pattern on February 1st, I would do for today, January 31st. But that kind of gets it weird out of sync because it's going to be a slightly longer video. By the time I could do it tomorrow and then do the editing and get it up, it'd be too late to actually post tomorrow. I'd have to post it on Tuesday, then it's really out of sync. And the way I want to go forward is I want to record weekly videos on Sunday and post them on Monday, or have them go live on Monday. So instead, I'm going to do my final wrap up for January 21 today and kind of stop the daily vlogs from there. And I'll talk more about my future plans after. So for this video, it's going to start with how the last 24 hours go. Then I'm going to talk about the last month and everything that's happened there. Just a quick recap, and then my plans for what happens going forward. Okay, so in the last 24 hours, I did do a walk last night on the treadmill. 3.2 miles, not super long, but still decent. Now today, my right knee and the bottom of my right foot are not completely pleased. So I'm not sure if I'll get on the treadmill tonight or not, or give those a rest. But hopefully I'll get on the treadmill and just kind of walk a little bit more. The nice thing about that walk yesterday, that's probably the first time in a while where I was walking and I had the urge to run. That hasn't happened in a while. So that was fantastic to get that feeling. Because I was not walking hard, I was just in jeans and a t-shirt, so running was a bad idea, so I didn't give in to that urge, but that just gives me hope for the next step. So I'm not actually planning on doing any running until starting next week, but I might start getting into it this week. We'll see how that goes. If I still have that urge to run, I might as well take advantage of it. So there's that. This morning I did do my chin-ups. Along with that, I have dips and push-ups. And then that's about it for exercises so far today. Yesterday I did mention in yesterday's video that I did my planks and I did some upper body weights, light weights, just to move the body a bit. I did also, before I got on the treadmill last night, I did some heavier arm curls and rows and that kind of thing. Just kind of a set of each just to, again, get the heart pumping a little bit before I got on the treadmill. So that was pretty simple, straightforward. Today's been a relatively easy day. I haven't done a bunch of housework like I did yesterday by noon and that kind of stuff. Just taking it easy today. I did have the eggs and protein shake breakfast this morning shortly after 7, and then near 11 o'clock I had scrambled eggs for kind of an early lunch. So yeah, just still kind of watching the diet here on the weekend, making sure I'm not going too off the rails. The idea is my weight loss will occur during the week mostly, and the trick will be to not go completely dumb on the weekend and wreck progress from the week. And so far that seems to be good, because the weight this morning was the same as yesterday. Based on the way I was seeing the scale, and it's a digital scale, so it kind of tilts a little bit. You see it kind of go between one reading and a half pound up or a half pound down. It can kind of do that waffle. And yesterday it was the reading I took, it was starting to waffle upwards, and today's was waffling downwards a little bit. So it shows that there was still progress. It's just not enough to absolutely show on the scale, because it still comes out to the minimum. So best I can tell is a half pound either way. But seeing that little fluctuation tells me that I am moving down, not up. And that's good. I mean, I did mention yesterday I do expect some kind of plateauing to occur. I'm just hoping not quite yet. So what else? That's really about it for so far. I do hope to get on the treadmill later today. I'll dress to run, go on walking, but the intention is to walk, but I'll go dress to run. So if I get that urge, I can give it a shot. So that's the last 24 hours. Now January. So I started January at near a new peak for weight. I pretty much gained 12 pounds since this whole COVID work from home situation started, with the majority of that occurring kind of in the last 3 months kind of deal, or the last couple months of December and over Christmas. Christmas was a big surge just over Christmas there. So that wasn't good. I wasn't in a great spot to start, but and it's not the heaviest I've ever been. I've been heavier than that. It's but not for long. And I think that all kind of ties back into 2012 when I started BigGoofyRunner.com and the blog and all that kind of stuff. All ties into when I was bad back then. But yeah, so anyway, so it's kind of in recent times, that's the heaviest I've gotten. Was not impressed, was not pleased. So started making some changes. In early January, I ran out of Coke in the house after Christmas. Have not bought any more for in the house since. So that's now 4 weeks plus without any Coke in the house. So that's helped. If I don't drink Coke, I get headaches and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's the sugar, the caffeine, or something else. But usually, I have trouble getting around those headaches and I end up having to have Advil. Sometimes Advil makes me retain water. Weird things like that. So I started drinking not iced coffee, but cold brew coffee. And I found there's something about cold brew coffee that I can drink it black. I can't drink a hot coffee black. It just tastes awful to me. If you can do it, more power to you. But the cold brew I can drink without any sugar, without any milk or cream or anything with it. And I found that it was dealing with any of my headaches or anything like that I was having, would have normally had from cutting Coke out of my diet. And so that's fantastic. So now I've cut calories from no Coke and calories from the cream and sugar I would have normally had in my normal coffee. That's good. So there's a reduction right there in the calories consumed. At the beginning of January, I also started tracking using checkboxes for every day that I need to do 3 to 4 different sets of exercises during any weekday, where I would do a quick break from work for less than a minute usually to do a certain set of exercises or work a certain body group with, light weights or medium weights, sometimes with heavy weights, but just something I could just quickly break from work, go do that exercise, hit the checkbox where I was tracking it, and then continue on with work. Because I was finding that I had weights sitting beside me and I could take a break, but I found that I kept adding to what I wanted to do, and it could add up to like 10, 15-minute breaks. And that was just too long. It would kind of take what my coffee break would be. And yeah, it was too long, and I found I wasn't doing it. So with these little short ones, I'm finding I'm doing it. I'm hitting those check boxes every day. So 4 to 5 times a day, I take a quick stop, do a set of exercise, get back to work. So that's keeping my metabolism a little up, keeping my blood flowing a little bit, which is good considering I spend most of my day sitting at a chair doing the desk stuff. So that's been helping. I started making sure I was a little bit more dedicated getting on the treadmill, but still not great, and definitely not going very far on the treadmill. Usually maybe doing a half an hour, that kind of thing, but it was still doing it more frequently than I had been, say, in December. So all that kind of added up. So between January 3rd and 4th, where I was at the peak, to January 24th, I came down 7 pounds. So let's say 3 weeks, just under 3 weeks, I came down 7 pounds. Phenomenal. So that's good. That was a good start, and that gave me some motivation to start doing some more, to change it up a bit more, make a little bit more progress. So back in 2012, I had hit upon, and I wish I could even remember where I'd read this or what it was, because I suspect it was just an ebook I read online and that it has really no basis in science. But I started trying to get like 50 grams of protein for breakfast. Now, why 50 grams and all that kind of stuff, I don't know, but it fit nicely with a protein shake, and 2 hard-boiled eggs. And that's what I've been doing since January 24th. Every morning, been doing that. And the offshoot of that is the body working on the protein, throw in the cold brew coffee, and I'm finding I'm not snacking as much, and when I am, I'm consciously choosing slightly healthier snacks, and that kind of thing. And then I've got a fair bit of muscle on my body. My body needs protein to just work and be happy. So just having that big hit of protein in the morning, and then being careful what kind of snacking I'm doing. Like, I'm finding I might completely skip afternoon snacks, which was always had something, say, about 2 o'clock. I haven't been really doing much of that. So that's pretty awesome. That's whether the protein shot first thing in the morning specifically is helping, or just that it helps me be more conscious of what I'm eating. I'm not sure, but that's helping. And on top of that, I also started increasing the amount of time I spent on the treadmill when I got on it. And I was on the treadmill more days than I had been before. Instead of every other day or once every 3 days, I was on almost every day doing, say, an hour or something like that, but then also at a faster pace. So working a little bit harder while I was on the treadmill. So that was also good. I kept continuing on with the daily weight stuff, started adding maybe a little bit more to it, but not a huge amount of change there. But in that case, what happened from January 24th to this morning, I am down another 4 pounds, making a total of 11 pounds for January 2021 that I've come down. And that almost matches the 12 I gained since March. So that is an awesome turnaround. And the interesting thing is, if I compare myself probably where I was in March to now, I'm carrying more muscle mass. I'm much more toned muscle-wise, things like that. I suspect that pound difference can be at least partially equated to muscle, which, awesome. Again, so that's good. That means I've gotten kind of back down to this barrier I was at that I've had trouble getting past for a while. I'm back down there, and I have motivation, and I have basically a process in place that I can follow and keeps me energized. So I'm going to keep pushing, and I'll see where we get to from there. So that's awesome. I'm glad. I think having these daily videos and having that check sheet has really helped me track what I'm doing, how it's working, and keeping me honest that it's like, if I skip it, no one will ever know. Even if no one's really watching these videos, I'm putting it out on the internet, so there's something there to keep me honest, which is great. So that's all working pretty good. So that's why I don't want to completely get away from doing vlogs about what I'm doing. But it also takes a lot of time, and I kind of want to start moving some of that time towards the treadmill. So that leads into, what are the upcoming plans? So going forward, I'm going to continue on with the plan I've got right now. Like I said before, I expect a plateau at some point. I'm not there yet from what I can tell. It looks like I still got movement. So I'm going to continue on with what's working right now, and I'll make more tweaks once I start to plateau. So that means the hard-boiled eggs for breakfast with a protein shake, being very conscious about what I'm eating for snacks, avoiding Coke, having the cold brew coffee, all those kind of pieces, just kind of watching what I'm doing through the day, all the exercises, all those kind of pieces, just kind of tracking through, continuing on the process that is working right now. So we'll keep doing that. And so for the next week, I'll probably record myself probably after work every day as well. Just a quick video, not with the videos I've been doing to make the post. I've probably putting in more detail than I'll put in a just quick recording video, where I sit down and go, okay, this is what happened during over the last day. This is what I did for exercises. This is what my weight's like. This is kind of stuff I'm already putting in point form OneNote documents that I'm keeping through this whole COVID-19 situation and working from home. So I'm already writing this stuff down. But when I'm talking to the camera, I'll have a record of more about, how I'm feeling, what I'm looking like. If I'm looking tired and I'm looking exhausted, I may not type that into my notes, and that may not come across in the written stuff I put down, especially in point form, but should be able to see it on the camera. That's the idea. So I want to keep record of that. And then at the end of each week, so on Sunday, I expect on Sunday, I will do a recap and kind of sit down here and go through everything I've done in the past week. Do an overall, this is how much I've lost. Excuse me, how well I've done on keeping track of my exercise. Have I met all my requirements? Have I done all the pieces I need to? Is there anything I need to change? Basically doing that 1 week check-in to see where I am and what I'm doing. And some of those little check-ins I'm doing every day just for myself to record may kind of slip in there as little edits as we go along. So we'll see how that goes, but that is the plan. So we'll start that basically starting tomorrow. And then the week after that, so the week, February 8th, probably February 9th will be the first day, I'm going to start a novice marathon training program. I'm not sure what level, probably use a Hal Higdon training program. I've had great success with his training programs before. And my Goofy Challenge and Dopey Challenge training programs that I've kind of messed with for myself to match up with my running schedules and things like that are all kind of based off of his stuff. So, so I'll probably grab one of his novice training plans and start following that in February 8th. The reason for that, why February 8th and say not next week, why not 2 weeks ago, that kind of thing, is, well, first off, I wanted to lose a little bit of weight before I started running some and maybe wrecking my joints and then, not wanting to move, even walk on the treadmill. So that I was waiting to get a little bit of poundage down before I started running. But the other side of that is there are 18-week training programs that Hal Higdon usually has, and that would lead into, here in Manitoba, the big marathon event is the Manitoba Marathon on Father's Day, which would be June 20th this year. Now, with COVID and everything like that, I have no idea if it'll actually be run or put on this year. And even if it is, I'm not sure I would go. If I haven't had the vaccine by then, I'm not sure I'm going to want to go into that, into a place where there might be tighter corrals and things like that, even if it is being run. But I want to be ready for that day because that day is symbolic for me. The Manitoba Marathon is the first marathon I ever ran. It's the first half marathon I ever ran. It's kind of the home race. I want to be ready that I could run it if I want to. And I'll see as I get closer, maybe I'll do an unsupported race that day or something like that. But the idea is to train for that day. And that going 18 weeks back from June 20th is February 8th, essentially, for the 18 weeks. So start training that week for that. And so for this next week, I'll just continue doing what I'm doing with the walking, maybe short runs, things like that, just to get the body ready. But it's just going to be concentrating and bringing a couple more pounds down kind of deal to make it easier on the joints once I do get into the training program. Okay, so yeah, the overall goal, besides trying to get somewhere good physically for that day, for Father's Day, there's also other milestone in there that's relatively important that I would like to be in relatively good shape for. I'm not going to talk about that right here, but there's some stuff in there. So I'm basically progressing at this point, and I want to keep progressing. And there are a couple touch points in that time frame that I want things to be moving forward for, and maybe with some interesting things to happen in the fall. That's still quite a long way away, so that's still kind of way too far to talk about, but that's the hope and that kind of thing. And then the expectation, at least, is that if I can get good for June, then I would start maybe doing a Dopey or Goofy training program starting in September. I don't have expectations that, I don't really expect it to run in 2022 anyway, because it's just a mess out there. But if it does run or if it doesn't run, I'd still like to be in that shape again where I could do a good Goofy, I could do a good Dopey. So that's kind of one of the longer term goals. What other thoughts? I've got some other things rolling through my head, like recording this kind of a vlog kind of thing is cool, but maybe I would go towards live streaming it as a quick discussion every week. And if the channel were to grow a bit more, Twitch or YouTube or something like that, then maybe that would make sense. I could kind of go through what I'd done, ask questions, have an interaction, that kind of thing. But that's kind of a little further out. One of the other thoughts too is I've got the BigGoofyRunner.com, that blog. I haven't really done anything on it in ages, and I like writing. I like typing. I like doing that kind of stuff. So I'm expecting that for these weekly vlogs that I'm going to be doing, is that I will write them up and have them up as blog posts as well on the website, up on the blog, so that can all be combined together. And I can get writing again, I can have the videos going, I can be motivated to exercise, I'll be running, I'll be losing weight, and everything will be happy, the stars will align, and it'll all be good. So that's the plan, that's what I'm shooting for. I think that's going to be it for the video for now. I'm just gonna kind of get this up and pass it on to everybody to see, and I will see you next week. Next week's Monday. So February 8th should be the next video after this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.